Hello and welcome to the GDS Font Book. Now, there are a lot of quality fonts available for free out there, so I have decided to put together a list of my favourites, which you can download today and use in your design. This is the first in a series of videos where in each I will be recommending 5 amazing free fonts, and in this video I will be kicking it off with 5 sans serif typefaces. So what are sans serif typefaces? Well, aesthetically, sans serif typefaces are the most simple and stripped back and are known for not having any serifs or any prominent decorative flair to them. Sans serif typefaces are incredibly versatile. Because of their simplicity, they are highly legible and don't compete too much with surrounding visual elements, so are great to use when you want to achieve a more simple, balanced, neutral and reserved look and feel as part of your design. Though if used correctly, sans serifs can also add a lot of impact, gravitas and subtle distinction to your design. For this reason, they are quite popular and one of the most used typefaces in design. So let's look at 5 free examples. So first we have HK Grotesque. HK Grotesque is a clean and versatile typeface that offers some distinct characteristics that make it unique and a good choice for your design. On the surface, this may seem like a really simple typeface, though is actually quite versatile and comes with a huge family offering weights from light all the way through to black, also including italics. As simple as this typeface first appears, it does have some characteristics that make it distinguished from other types. With its range of weights and special characters, this typeface could add a lot of dynamic to your design. Taking a closer look at the typeface characteristics, for the letter A, in lowercase, we can see the typeface utilizes a double story A, giving it a more classic feel. However, when used in italic, we have the single story A. For the letter G, we can see a prominent spur of the capital, and for the lowercase, we can see a double story G, again giving it a more classic feel. In this typeface, I particularly like the loop and the ear, which gives the typeface a more distinct though subtle character. For the letter I, we see a simple iteration of the capital, and for the lowercase, the tittle is a rectangle rather than a circle, which is consistent throughout the typeface. For the letter J, we see a prominent bar on the top of the capital, and for the lowercase, again, we see the rectangle tittle with a modest descender. For the letter K, we can see an interesting composition where the leg is positioned equidistant along the arm, giving it a more unorthodox appearance. For Q, we have the tail on the capital, crossed between the counter and across the letter form. For T, we have the standard capital, but on the lowercase, we see a distinct cut at the top of the stem. And for L, we have the standard capital, but on the lowercase, we see the inclusion of a small terminal. These characteristics come together to form a clear and refined typeface, which is highly legible with its own distinct look and feel, and comes in a variety of weights to offer a wide scope of dynamic in your design. This is a great typeface that comes complete with an extensive family and would work well for contemporary design where you want to add impact, simplicity, and versatility to your design. If you're interested in this typeface and want to take a closer look at the qualities and characteristics, you can get a free PDF sheet which I have prepared for you to download and print for free. Link is in the description. Next up, we have a typeface called Kuro. Kuro is another clean and versatile typeface that offers distinct characteristics that make it unique and a great choice for your design. This typeface is charming, straightforward and versatile. Available in the regular weight, complete with a range of special characters, this typeface can bring a contemporary touch to your design. Taking a closer look at the typeface characteristics, for the letter A in uppercase, we have a subtle detail in the crotch, where here we have more of a bridge rather than a typical point or flat point. In lowercase, we can see the typeface utilizes a double story A, and here the A is missing a spur, where the bowl connects directly to the stem. This characteristic is consistent throughout the typeface, giving it a distinct appearance. For the letter G in lowercase, this time we have a single story G. For the letter J in uppercase, the arc or outside stroke falls below the baseline. In lowercase, we have a square tittle, which is consistent throughout the typeface. For the letter K, we can see a subtle detail in the crotch. Here, this seems to be extended out rather than flush to the stem. For Q in uppercase, the tail is subtle and protrudes sharply. For the letter R in lowercase, we are missing the head of the letter form, where it curves straight into the stem. For U in lowercase, like the letter A, we are missing a spur, where the bowl connects directly to the stem. And for Y in lowercase, again we see a subtle detail in the crotch. Here, this seems to be extended out rather than flush to the tail. These modern geometric forms, combined with subtle detailing, create an interesting typeface to add subtle character and versatility to your design. If you're interested in this typeface and want to take a closer look at the qualities and characteristics, you can get a free PDF sheet which I've prepared for you to download and print for free. Link is in the description. Next up, we have a typeface called Quark. Quark is another suitable typeface with its own subtle yet distinct characters that could make a good choice for your design. Available in light and bold weights, complete with a range of special characters, this typeface can bring a delicate impact to your design. Taking a look at the typeface characteristics, for the letter A in lowercase, we can see the typeface utilizes a double story A. For the letter G in lowercase, we see a double story G, again giving it a more classic feel. Now here I particularly like the loop and how it does not fully connect with the neck, which gives this typeface a more distinct character. For the letter J in lowercase, we have a round tittle, which is consistent throughout the typeface. And at the top of the head, we have a distinct curve. For the letter K, we can see a subtle detail in the crotch. Here, this seems to be extended out, rather than flush to the stem, and the leg has a subtle curve to it. For Q in uppercase, the tail comes from the center and curves out. For W, both in upper and lowercase, the middle crotch connects part way on the stroke, creating these interesting letter forms. And for the lowercase, we see on the lower crotch a subtle curve on the inside strokes, giving a more distinct character. These characteristics come together to form an interesting typeface to consider for your design, and would work really well for contemporary design where you want to add simplicity and impact to your design. If you're interested in this typeface and want to take a closer look at the qualities and characteristics, you can get a free PDF sheet which I've prepared for you to download and print for free. Link is in the description. Next, we have a typeface called Aller. Aller is a unique sans serif design with a warm, approachable tone of voice. Aller comes as part of a family that consists of 3 weights with matching italics, and a more extreme display weight for headlines. This is an interesting typeface with some quirks that make it a good alternative to more minimal sans serif typefaces to add a bit more personality to your design. Taking a look at the typeface characteristics, for the letter A in lowercase, we can see the typeface utilizes a double story A. However, when used in italic, we have the single story A. In lowercase, the A is missing a spur, where the bowl connects directly to the stem. For the letter G in lowercase, we see a double story G, giving it a more classic feel. For the letter I, we see a simple iteration of the capital, and for the lowercase, the tittle is a rectangle, rather than a circle, which is consistent throughout the typeface. In lowercase, at the top of the head, we also have a small protruding bar, which gives the typeface a distinct character. For the letter J, again we see a prominent bar on the top of the capital and lowercase, and with the lowercase we see the rectangle tittle again. For the letter K, we can see a subtle detail in the crotch. Here, this is not flush with the stem. The arm and leg connect to create a point, making a very distinct letter form. For Q, we have the tail on the capital, which is disconnected from the letter form. For T, we have the standard capital, and on the lowercase, we see a very distinct apex at the head. And for X, we see a similar characteristic as seen with the K, where the crotch between the X does not connect. Rather, the points sit parallel. With very slight round edges at the tips of the letter forms, this creates a bit of softness compared to the other sharper sans serif alternatives. These characteristics come together to form a quirky, versatile typeface with some interesting features that make a nice alternative, and with a scope of weights from light to display, this offers a really nice range to use in your design. If you're interested in this typeface and want to take a closer look at the qualities and characteristics, you can get a free PDF sheet which I've prepared for you to download and print for free. Link is in the description. So last on the list, we have a typeface called Questrial. Questrial is a really clean and practical typeface, perfect for body text and headlines. Heavily influenced by Swiss design, its modern, minimal style makes it highly readable in any context. The numbers in Questrial are tabular figures, so they can be used in tables and forms to enable maximum legibility, and comes complete with all special characters. Taking a closer look at the typeface characteristics, for the letter A we have a standard capital, but this time, unlike other typefaces seen in this video, we have a single story A. For the letter G, we can see a prominent spur on the capital, and for the lowercase, we see a single story G. For the letter I, we see a simple iteration of the capital, and for the lowercase, the tittle is a rectangle rather than a circle, which is consistent throughout the typeface. For the letter J, in lowercase, we see a very simple iteration, where instead of a curved tail, we see this is straight. For Q, in uppercase, we have a distinct tail, which comes from the center and curves across. And for the letter T, we have the standard capital, though for the lowercase, we see no terminal, which creates a very distinct letter form. The full circle curves on many characters make Questrial a great font to blend seamlessly with other typefaces, while still maintaining its uniqueness. This is an extremely clean and clear typeface, offering maximum legibility, which also offers an alternative single story A from typefaces which commonly use double story A's. If you're interested in this typeface and want to take a closer look at the qualities and characteristics, you can get a free PDF sheet which I have prepared for you to download and print for free. Link is in the description. So those are 5 amazing sans serif typefaces you can download right now and use in your design. Check out the links in the description where you can download the fonts for free and get access to some free type sample sheets. Also, check out the GDS font book where you can see more sans serif typefaces, and check back as I will be updating the font book in future. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to be notified of more font videos like this in future, where I'll be sharing more amazing free fonts from different categories to use in your design. Until then, have fun guys, and I'll see you next time.